Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Dicey Dungeons. So, we didn't get a victory on hard mode with episode 6 with the thief, so we'll have to remember that. But it is a lot wiser just to get the normal mode of the bonus episodes done. We did accomplish a pretty large amount of challenges, down to the point where you're not really needing to worry about any of the challenges that are around beating certain bonus rounds or elimination rounds, because that's pretty obvious. So I'm looking for something where I could throw 12 or more damage by throwing dice with the witch in the bonus mode, which I don't know how that would really happen. I'm looking for something where I could use my limit break twice. I'm looking to do 40 damage in a single attack, which is unlikely to happen, and I'm looking to do 5 freeze or more, or stack 30. And if we could get our health up, or find Dragon's Tooth, that would be great too. But each of those challenges seem to be kind of random and kind of unlikely to happen. Thanks for joining me for another round of Dicey Dungeons. Tonight, let's give a big round of cruelly mocking laughter for our miserable contestant. Alright, so hard mode is locked, and we get a pick here where we could do 1 damage and roll a 5. And get a plasma blaster to do 5. Or we could do a ray gun, which would do 3 damage and have 3 uses. In the long run, if you were going to get a bunch of 1s or a bunch of dice, it would kind of make sense to do that, but I think it kind of maybe makes some sense to do this. Neither one of those setups really feel super intelligence when you have like this as your setup. Yeah. Let's see. Do 8 fire damage. It's totally the right move. That's a different setup, certainly, for the robot. And I wonder if that's just always going to be the case as far as how this plays. That we're going to be able to do 8 fire damage. I probably should do damage each turn. Could I have thrown the dice? Is this even the character that throws dice? No, this isn't. So yeah. When you're at this point, it would, unless you can do that, it would make sense to just do that. And should I save the auto roll for the next turn? I don't really even have to worry about my health. I'm just gonna get a full health refill anyways. Don't you go poking around my mushrooms. It's taken me 83 years to get them all this soggy. You would think every line of dialogue here well, I don't think I want that. So we'll random around that. Rolling a 6 and having it start on fire is not amazing, but it's not terrible either, because it also applies to your opponent. Alright. So let's auto roll now. It does seem like we have just opportunity here. So yeah, it does seem like you're just going to get firebombed each time you roll. Alright, so we have a 6. And if we roll another 6, we'd glitch. And then have 2 fires anyways. So I guess we'll take 2 damage, do this, then do this. Maybe I could have taken some armor. It would just reduce the fire damage I did on myself. 5 health. Bring that to 27. Memory leak, do 2 times the damage. What are our options as far as that's an option. A 1. Do we have anything that would give us a 1? To want to go in that route. I think the bump blade is probably a good argument, so let's just do one more fight. Get the bump blade, and then use it. Wait. So 3. And then we can roll again. Oh. The memory leak gets smaller each time, so we should just do that now. And then do this, and glitch. I suppose there's a different strategy you could play on this, and you could be a lot more conservative about rolling if you wanted to go in that route. But I don't think that would be the route you'd want to go. Alright, well, let's do that, let's do that. Let's burn ourselves to do that. And then do that. But the only reason you'd ever play that strategy at all would be because you're getting burnt by something negative is happening every time you crash. Alright, let's take the precious egg, take it again, and just see if that unlocks a new item or if that is literally going to be the same item. Because it is possible that with every precious egg there is a new piece of equipment, and that there is this just large list of new pieces of equipment that you can unlock only with the precious egg. Right. So, jackhammer is really the only thing that would make sense. Well, you can bump blade this. You can do that. We can do this for 2 damage. And then shock hit the equipment. Since he has only 1 dice, that means he can't do anything. But you don't get anything particularly special for this. Well, actually, I should have done bump blade, then this, then that. I could have done more damage there. Should I do this? Bump blade on that one more. Excuse me. But you still would just want that roll. Yeah, and there's no benefit to not stopping him from stealing from you. Okay. So you do this, and you get a 5. You do this, and you get a 6. You do this and hurt yourself again, and you get a 5. And you do this, and you win. I guess I could have dragged the fight out longer if I wanted to, but didn't really have a good reason to do that. We don't have enough gold to buy sword hilt, which we wouldn't, and combiner. I don't think it's going to help us much either. Instead of burning dice, disable equipment. Okay, fine. That actually counters the first situation anyways. I wonder if there's a value in upgrading the precious egg. That would be an interesting thought, certainly, is that maybe it would unlock 2 items. Just go and do one. Alright. I have a 3 on fire. Just do 6 damage, and that'll disable equipment that won't hurt us. We have a 6. Now that's burnt. And see, I do the bump blade here, and then I'll win, and I can't then use the 2 on the item. Lucky star. A second lucky star wouldn't be terrible. Do a bump blade here. Do the precious egg. Probably worth it just to do that. Let's see. That. And then in the turn. I just need to roll a 1 now, and the odds of me not rolling a 1 is pretty low. So we now have fishing net, which, okay, we could freeze the dice, we can do 5 damage, which if we do this, and do this, and then do this, we'll win. So much for checking out to see if the precious egg could have been upgraded. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually can't be upgraded anyways. Well, at this point, bump blading to do that, then doing 10 like that, makes all the sense in the world. Doing that, to do another 5. If I had gotten a lucky jackpot there, I'd have a decent chance of winning in 1 turn. Depending on what the random equipment is that shows up in the jackpot. What's funny is this really feels like the first time where we really have been capable of having something that really feels like a jackpot, in that there's a surprise prize in it, instead of it just being a very set price. Alright, we gotta buy this Dragon's Tooth, because obviously there's an achievement around it, and it makes all the sense in the world. We can't afford anything else. The question here is, can we roll 6 to upgrade the Dragon's Tooth? That's probably the right move. Other options would have been just upgrading Plasma Blaster, Bump Blade twice. Upgraded Dragon's Tooth. And that's a much better outcome. We now just need to decide what we're getting rid of. And I think pretty obvious that that's the move. Now we may find out that the Dragon's Tooth is not a very helpful piece of equipment anyways, so we may only ever want to use it once for the achievement and then never again. Alright. So the move here is to just roll. And just keep on rolling. That's pretty much it. He was given an extra rock because of the rule. Alright. So the roll resets. So what are the odds if you did something like this and then did something like that and then did something like that? Does that add to a roll? No. This says roll a 5, but that didn't count as a roll either. Let's try Snake Eyes. That didn't count as a roll either. You can just keep on doing that over and over again. I would have thought rocks did just like 1 damage, but obviously they do more. Okay. We don't have anything that would guarantee victory, and I don't think I need to take extra damage just trying to get the Dragon's Tooth, so let's just win. If enemy rolls that number, it's locked. I might have a bit better of a situation against this guy, but what this mostly boils down to is I'm just gonna have to get lucky. Or I'm gonna have to get more CPU to range the target. Rolling 6. Also would require getting there. Okay. Okay, so bump this to a 3. Do that. Do that. Do that. So I want 3 shield for 3 health. Let's go with health. It's gonna really suck if we win here and we still don't get the Dragon's Tooth done. But that does kind of feel like that may be the way this goes. Okay. Just do that, and then in the turn, that very well may have been a mistake because now everything's unlocked and really can just do a lot of damage to me. And I don't think I'm going to get a full health refill. See, I could just win right now. Yeah, and I think it's best just to win. We can goof around a little bit more in this next fight. What I need to fight, really, would be somebody like a snowman who potentially would freeze all my dice. That way you're just guaranteed ones over and over again. But yeah, the Wicker Man is the exact opposite of that. If I could get to a point here, I guess, where let's see, do this, do this, do that. Right. See, if I was to auto roll now, I would get 3. But rolling 2 1s wouldn't do anything for us. So let's just firebomb and win. CPU counter +1. 2 uses per turn. I guess we need that, don't we? And if we're going to do that, then probably should get rid of Lucky Star. This Dragon's Tooth better be worth it. We won't trade that because we may want to go back to Lucky Star. We only have the boss floor. Take 2 damage each turn to get your limit break higher. I'll take that. That's a little dangerous. This is a... I guess we've seen this layout before, but it sure takes up the full screen, whereas a lot of the other layouts are kind of smaller in feeling. Right. First step would be to do that. That's weird. That didn't work the way I thought that was gonna work. Increment is exactly the opposite of what I want. I want decrement. Yeah. Increment gets us closer towards the jackpot, which is what would be fine normally, but in this case not so much. Okay, we have lightning, so we want to do this, and then this. Yeah, I really can't do anything here. You could, like, do that, sure, but that wouldn't help you any. Okay, we'll do that. And then we'll do that. We could evade next attack, which is probably our best bet. Since we've got nothing else to do. 3. Bump that up to 4. Do 8 damage. Yeah, and it's just not worth risking it, so we should just win here. We don't get a full health until we've cleared this entire floor. We want to go back to Lucky Star. Do we need 2 Lucky Stars? Not really. It would be nice if we had something else. Return the difference of 2 things. Double the success odds of chance-based items. With a 4-leaf clover. Also, we could buy health. Just start with that. Okay, 4-leaf clover. We'll try that out. And then we've got to just see if we can upgrade things, so. In this fight, we need to see if we've got the 4-leaf clover set well. I could have bumped there and done 2 more damage. Sure, use that one. That. Let's save the auto roll for the next turn, I guess. Bump that. Use that. So we doubled our success odds, and yet we still didn't end up with success there. If this Dragon's Tooth doesn't just like unlock something permanently, it's totally not worth it. 2. Up that to 3. Do that. Spend the 1 there. 3. 6. I mean, if I auto-rolled now, I would just get a 1. Better to keep the auto-roll and not take 2 damage at the beginning of the next turn. I suppose if there had been some system that rules that says like all the dice you roll will be below 3, that would have worked fairly well. Let's see, we could upgrade that, upgrade that, upgrade that. I mean, let's just do it. We can't upgrade Dragon's Tooth again. 4-leaf clover upgraded. Right. Our health is not great. And so I want to be aware of that also. His 6-shooter ability is going to be fairly limited here, but I need something that would heal me back up, and I think your auto roll probably is the thing to do that for you. There we go. Dragon's Tooth do 4 times the damage. Fury, double next action. I'd like to be able to regenerate, but 4 times 16 and 16 is still less than 40. It would have to be 6 doubled to 12, and then doubled again would only still be 24. Good fighting, high rolling. I'll cook your goose next time, don't you worry. So we got that achievement, at least. Free spin, change the jackpot's abilities. Yeah, at this point, definitely don't think we're sticking with the Dragon's Tooth, even though it's upgraded. Lock a dice on 3. And then Lucky Star is probably our best bet. And we just have to fight this guy, otherwise we won't get a full health, and we won't have a chance at all of beating the boss. So 5 to do this, 4, bump that up to 5 to do that. 100% chance that we would get a jackpot now on this next roll, and that seems to be the case. And lucky shot. Inflict poison, roll a new dice. Plus he's got a rock. This could kill me. It's noticeable too that you kind of don't have a good chance of surviving a fight on these elevated, more difficult challenges when it gives you that change in the audio and stops the music. Because you really only have maybe one turn, but a lot of times I think you would potentially lose and die before even that one turn came about. Alright, well. And I'm assuming that none of these bonus fights are going to be the vampire, because that would be particularly unfair. My dentist told me I shouldn't fight after I brushed my teeth, so I fought her. I won, obviously. Okay. So, immediate auto roll. You probably should hold on to the auto roll. Let's see. Let's bump that. Let's lock a dice. Do that. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. I probably would have activated the Dragon's Tooth on this turn. Now an auto roll now would not do us any good, so it's better just to risk it. Let's see. Take the protection, that'll be our best option. If she uses the sixes, it'll burn her equipment. But that may not matter in that case. 1, 3, on blade, 8, 4, like this, which lets me do this, do that. If I auto rolled now, I'd just get 2 2s. Let's do that. I think that was the right move. No, the charge is burnt. And so now the broadsword would be burnt. Feels like we have a decent chance of success here, though. I have a decent amount of health still. So. I guess maybe I could have played that to get exactly a 5 and double that. I didn't think about that. Next turn we can auto roll with safety, as long as we just don't do take massive amounts of damage this turn. Right, 5 there does 10. And there's no reason to screw around any further than that. Let's just do that. Four, bump up to a 5, do another 5 damage. Then auto roll now, and just firebomb. Such a persistent little dice friend. Sure, let's give the wheel a spin, why not? Now I assume behind the door you're gonna fight Lady Luck. I don't know if you're gonna do a whole episode or if it's just going to be one giant boss fight, maybe with random equipment. No amazing prize this time, I'm afraid. Better luck. Maybe it's time just to give up forever. But what would be interesting is if you went behind the scenes and you de-rigged the wheel, and then every time you finished an episode, you would spin the wheel and you would get maybe a permanent upgrade in a roguelite way to each piece of equipment, and then there would be this possibility that you could play the game a whole second time on the save file with just upgraded equipment, and there might even be an argument to trying to upgrade every single piece of equipment, although there is quite a lot. That would be a little weird. So we've completed Dragon's Tooth, which unlocks Hothead. Greatest fear, trying and failing. No, wait, I'm not afraid of anything. Childhood pet. I don't need a pet to love me. I have my own sense of self-worth for that. Happiest mom is happier than whatever yours was. Reasons for the entering the dungeon's really good. I feel like we had already unlocked Hothead, but maybe I'm thinking of Fireman. No, we haven't unlocked Hothead. It would almost have to be a set of items getting upgraded, though, by winning the wheels, not just like one item being upgraded, because one item being upgraded is too little, and that certainly doesn't connect storyline wise towards winning your greatest desire. Lady Luck says, hey, do you all remember the robot? Let's get hyped for its inevitable failure. So hard mode is enemy equipment is upgraded, and we will start for at least this round with the ray gun and the plasma blaster. Hard mode inflicts that first rule on you, which I don't know if that really replaces the first rule you would have anyways. 3 damage and 1 damage. Projection. Reduce damage by 1 or shield by 3. Shield by 3 is probably better. Could I have possibly done some damage there in 1? Just win here. Although, if we had the Buster Sword, then that would have given us an argument to try to get the jackpot to maybe heal, but it's not really necessary. There is still definitely some weirdness around the fact that it's fairly easy to win, or at least it feels a little bit easier to win in bonus hard mode than it does to actually win in elimination mode. Burning dice disabling equipment is a fine rule to take. You just don't want to take the other rule that would synergize with it, if you can avoid it. Yeah, I'm playing this a second time. Just feels repetitive because that's exactly what it is. Let's see. Ooh, dice. That. Auto roll. Firebomb. We still have a collection of items we would like to potentially... Oh, I lost my train. Double dice and undegraded dice. Double dice value, then subtract 1. Do 1 damage. Take the bump blade. Guess it doesn't matter who you fight. Let's see. Do this to start with. Then do this. Then do this. Then can't do anything there, can't do anything there. Do this. Shield. Shield makes sense if they have only 1 attack, but I guess that has, the headbutt has 2 uses per turn, so arguably maybe that was a mistake. Needs to be 3 or less. So it's a 2. So no, it wasn't a 2. It was a big number. Spud cannon. Buster sword is obviously your best bet here. Overclock, do 2 damage, CPU -2. 3 times. 3 uses. I guess if I could get Dragon's Tooth and that, then there might be something, a nice strategy there, but that's not going to happen anyways. And I do need to test Overclock to make sure it works the way I think it does. So we got 6. So if I do this, that does reduce it. Interesting. But Overclock really would only synergize with Dragon's Tooth, and even at that, there's a minimal amount of damage that you're going to do. Let's see. Do that. Do that. Do that. Win. Take the food. Run to the next floor. Can't make more than 6 moves per turn. I don't like that, so I'll take something different. One of your dice is burning each time. That's not good. That synergizes with disabling equipment. It's not terrible though. Yeah, unless the save file editor really let you do exactly like exact custom builds of your setup. Let's see, should I do a lucky shot this turn? I think so. Yeah, unless you can custom your setup in some way, there's going to be some synergies that might be a little interesting, but nothing amazing. And you'd kind of hope that that would just be... Oops. I totally skipped a turn there for no reason. Maybe that would be for like the Lady Luck battle, that she'd have 100 health and you would just get to pick from any piece of equipment, and it still somehow would be a very difficult battle. Let's just win. Right. Health. This will give me 3 and a full health refill. I could also... Let's see. I do know I struggled fairly hardly in the last run by not being able to heal myself. So, should I get rid of like ray gun? Yeah, do 3 damage, do that amount of damage and recover 1 health. And then do that amount of damage and recover that health. Let's see. Bump blade being able to be used twice. Do 3 damage, CPU -3. Ray gun wouldn't be an option. I think we'll upgrade this first. Right. Either one of these fights will get me full health, so we'll just do this one. So, you roll, you got a 4, you bump that to a 5, do that, roll, you do this, you do this, see, I guess you can just roll here too, because you might roll 6, glitch out, and do more damage. You'd kind of think that the sorceress would feel a lot more like the witch character that you play as, but it doesn't really play that much like the witch, or it probably plays a lot more like it than I think, but it doesn't feel like it plays that way. 5. And win. I guess that's in part because the sorceress is going to just have... I guess we should buy Lucky Star? Or should we save our money for the next turn? Next 4. Yeah, the sorceress isn't going to swap out her attacks, because that would be far too complicated, and you just wouldn't look up at the enemy moves every single turn as they're playing to see if that was... if the attacks were being swapped out. Okay. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. And again, it seems like I might just hold on to the auto roll for the next fight. I wish by default, if you had an auto roll full at the start of each turn, it gave you an extra dice or something. That would be nice. Let's see. I guess you start with that. then let's see. How are we gonna do this? Do that. Heal 3, I guess. And overclocking like that. Then that. And then that. And we won. I didn't think I was actually going to win that turn. Right. Free spin, change the jackpot's abilities. Yeah, don't want to buy that. We're at full health. Move on to the next floor. Poison is no longer reduced by 1 each turn. Fine, take that. That's not a big deal. It almost feels like the rules only appear based on who you fight on that floor, but that's not really the way it plays out. Because then the first rule you would get each floor would just be 1 of 2, or maybe 1 of 4. Like 5. Like that. 6. We could do 2 damage and reduce this, or we could auto roll. Reuse next equipment, roll 1 more dice. I guess we have to roll 1 more dice. That was the best we could do. Let's see. I guess we'll burn there. Do 3 there. Just everything is on fire here. I have a burn of 5. Do that. Do that. Good one. I love an old-fashioned flame war. Yeah, I'd like each line of dialogue to perhaps speak to the inherent misery that each of these minions are suffering in, which that seems to be the story that they're telling. What would also just save the day, though, is if they simply what am I trying to say here? If there were some fights where they would just opt to run away or let you win automatically. This is the thing that I'd like to see in all RPGs, and honestly, if there was just a mod out there that could do it for a lot of RPG type games, or just games with a lot of fighting in them in general. But yeah, every now and then just getting a random success would be nice, instead of having to grind through it. Like this Kraken fight, for instance, there's not gonna be anything special here that happens. It's gonna reduce my health by some random amount, and it's gonna increase my auto roll by a certain amount. Regardless of what strategies I play, I would have to play terrible strategies I'd have to play absolutely terrible strategies to lose, and I'd have to play pretty absolutely terrible awesome strategies to have a significant difference in how quickly I win. I have no idea how far we are with this. Let's see. Roll one more, or shock 3 equipment. I was one short. So he's gonna curse me, he's gonna do 2 damage to me, and then blind me. Who cares? I was winnowing in the giant arms of this slumbering green, and you interrupt me for yet another fight. None of these minions feel particularly different in their challenge. There's maybe one or two that you kind of could tell you will lose to them if you're in a weak state, but that's about it. If you have at least 3/4 of your health, then everything will work fine. Three damage, new dice, bump it up, another 3 damage, roll. Roll 6 damage in the turn. I guess I could have auto rolled there. Alright. 2 bump blade that up to a 3. Do 3 damage and 3 health. 4. Do 2 damage or 4 damage. 2 will do 2 damage. 1 will win for us. Plus I could roll again and get a higher number, whatever. Actually, I should have rolled again, I come to think of it, and gotten the jackpot. Cooling fan versus increment. I don't know if we've ever had cooling fan before, so I'll take it. And then sword hilt, needing a 1 to do 6 damage, which I don't think we would use that. And we already had looked at that option, so nothing there. I don't think there's ever a time when I would select any of these boss bonuses, enemies starting each fight with Fury, for instance. Like, anything random is better than that. Even Beatrice. Now maybe there are different tiers, so I really could have only gotten a boss level rule change in that instance. Okay. 4, 2, 1, 3. Activate. Bear smash for 10. Makes all the sense in the world. Okay. Start with this. Do this. this, and this. And I guess I could have used the fire to unlock that, and that wouldn't have burned the equipment. I suspect you wouldn't have been able to use Bear Smash if you had unlocked Bear Smash before. Okay. So, do that. And then do that. There probably was a better move there, but I'm not sure if there really was. But if unlocking Bear Smash on the rare occasion that it would show up during a random jackpot, that's not really worth it. Alright, we'll take some health. It would have to be some bigger reward. You can buy 10 health. Safe bet. Next roll won't exceed CPU target. Yeah, I don't think that would be worth it. Okay. Let's go against the snowman. So you use the fire to do this, then you do that, then you do that, do that, that, to that. Hey, we lucked out there, and we got Bear Smash again, so. We got lucky on that turn also. Alright, well. 1 frozen. A 2 on fire. A 5. Start with the 5. 3. Guess you want to bump here. Guess you want to heal. And there's 4 damage and we won. Good. It's easy to forget that we're even playing on hard mode at this rate. Yep. Each unused dice for a mechanical leg. Let's look at that item. Do 2 damage for each unused dice. I'd assume that's for the whole fight, not just that turn. Otherwise it really wouldn't do that much damage. Let's see, we can take 8 health now. So that's probably your best bet. The cowboy is fairly easy to play with. 3. So unlock that to do that. To do that to do that. And we'll just do lucky shot or reduce damage by 1. Actually, not a bad thought. Reduce damage by 1. Because he'll roll 2 6s and then do 6 damage, then do another 6 damage. And then it's just going to come down to winning. I guess you auto roll this turn. Double next action for 12. Do that. And do that for 5. On blade to 6. 2 there. Doesn't quite win it for us, but we're in a good position. But not really a great position. Let's see. Wasn't paying enough attention to the health there. I should have done one attack to refill the health. Now the good news is we can buy health. Would we want to buy anything else? And we just have a massive amount of gold. Why not just buy everything? First turn. We'll start with that. Do that. We'll do that. To do that. Oh man, I played wrong there. Oh well. We'll lock one dice and that's all we can do. That's not terrible. So first flaming dice is locked. Second dice is a 6. Can't auto roll. Five and back up to a 6, I guess. And then that. And I'll just regenerate health for safety. And this time we'll do an avalanche and then lock one dice. Ideally I would want to keep the auto roll for the boss fight. So we'll keep that in mind. 5 damage there. 1 damage there. 3. Yeah. We will get full health at the end of this fight, so we're in a pretty safe position. So you like bump that up. Do 3 there. Do 5 here and win. And the extra CPU is a big issue, certainly, of what you're looking for also. Overclocking being upgraded or bump blade being upgraded a couple times might not be a terrible thought. Let's just look at every possibility as far as other options. A 4 doing like sword hilt, if you could get to a 4, would be interesting, or safe bet not having a minimum. Let's see, pairing dice, 2 uses per turn. Yeah. I think though our best bet is probably just to bump dice. Upgrade the bump blade.
like her.
And immediately we need the wooden stake, which screws us over as far as what we're dumping things into. Well, so this is going to be a fight where you really are going to have to focus on dumping a lot of dice into the wooden stake. And weirdly, they don't warn you about the vampire needing the wooden stake until you're already in the fight, and there's no way to particularly flee now and go and get the item and equip the item. Oh look, it's yet another dice come to fight me. Well, good luck. I'm almost invulnerable, and I'm 5 centuries old, so fingers crossed for you, I guess. So I don't know, maybe if they had locked it down in such a way that you could always run away, and they even offered to run away. Of course, the first time you would have done this fight, you would have known that you needed the wooden stake after that first time anyways, so it's not like it's not like you shouldn't know better. Should I have auto-rolled that turn? Probably. Yep. I guess the question is, when should I auto-roll? I guess now would be a good time to auto-roll. Alright. Shock 3 equipment. Works. Probably pretty good against his strategy. Bump blading this to a 6. Then bump blading. Let's just do 3 damage there. Roll that. That. Bump blade that. That. And then we don't want to burn it, so we'll end the turn there. Yeah, but me shocking is only going to reduce his ability by a small amount. We're blind, so we have no idea. We know this is somewhat of a big number, and so we know it's 6. So throw it in there. I guess we're just slowly going to make progress here. And he really wants to poison me. Remember, we have a rule here that poison does not reduce by 1 each turn, so our poison is potentially going to kill us pretty badly if we're not careful. get that within winning distance. I think we're fine. But also we're taking 12 damage next turn. So if we somehow didn't win this turn, that would be crazy. So let's just auto roll to start with. 8 firebomb. And then throw everything in here to win. And so that is hard mode bonus round 2. Now we have success twice. Such a persistent little dice friend. Sure, let's give a wheel spin, why not? No amazing prize this time, I'm afraid. Bad luck, maybe it's just time to give up forever. She's really run out of things to say. So that unlocks Drake. Favorite food, human blood, childhood pet, a fruit bat named Rochester, secret shame. Sometimes I eat garlic bread even though it makes me sleepy and gives me an upset stomach the next day. Reason for entering the dungeon, to avoid the sunlight, obviously. Haven't you read about me? So we didn't get hard mode done for this bonus round, but we did for this one and this one. But notably, it doesn't really tell you that until you get further down the menu. We still have this one, and this one to do bonus rounds at least with before we can do this. And then there's the elimination round on this one and this one. So we're talking 5 to 6 more hours of gameplay. Challenge wise, we've unlocked a lot of stuff, but you are going to potentially just have a hanger on. Like if there's even one character you can't get the bonus round hard mode done with, you won't get all the achievements. And Steam only highlights games in which you get all the achievements for. There's about 15 achievements left. Also, doing 12 or more damage by throwing dice. Still not sure how you'd ever accomplish that. Use your limit break twice. If I had the boomerang, I could see doing that. Doing 40 damage in a single attack can really only be accomplished one way. And inflicting 5 or more freeze in a single turn is going to be difficult. You'd have to just play a lot. Stacking 30 or more total poison on an enemy at once is going to be incredibly difficult. Max health at 64 is obviously incredibly difficult because we've only seen one piece of equipment that can even really increase your health, and you would have had to have successfully used it every single time to get to 64. What you would hope is that in the process of making extra content and extra DLC, they would have created some scenarios that would have made that more likely to happen and more of a realistic possibility. So maybe when we jump out to the extra levels, the extra DLC content, that will allow us to accomplish the challenges in the main game. Otherwise, it really is just going to leave us here to potentially just grind and play this game multiple times. And I can't imagine anybody would really want to play this game multiple times. It's so ridiculous for it to even have a win-loss ratio mentioned, because this game is just so slow and it's just not that varied. It is basically the opposite type of game from something like Rogue Legacy, where the upgrades of the characters and the enemies unlock, or I don't know why I'm comparing it to Rogue Legacy when the better comparison is Binding of Isaac. Binding of Isaac by far, even compared to Rogue Legacy, is the polar opposite of this, because in Binding of Isaac you start with 5 levels, and then after you win, I think it's 5 levels, you then unlock another 3 levels, then eventually you unlock some more levels and some more levels and some more levels. As you're playing, there's a high chance you're going to unlock a new item. As you get new items, there's a high chance of you having a better experience and higher chance of winning. You have to actively engage with ever increasing challenges to even have more difficulty in the Binding of Isaac gameplay. And notably, when comparing this game to Binding of Isaac, because of the way it slowly trickles out more content and heavily encourages you to replay the game and go through one more run, it's not crazy to put 100 hours into Binding of Isaac. It's totally insane that I've put as much time as I already have in Dicey Dungeon, because nothing's happening here. It's the same old every time, slight rules changes aside. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.